Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody had a wonderful day yesterday, and I hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. So, here we are back in our good old warehouse junkyard. Did some fun work yesterday. Got into a lot of trouble yesterday, mostly of our own making. And then just generally had a pretty good time. Got a lot of this welded up, which the base is starting to look real sweet. Real nice. I actually kind of like the fact that that's exposed. So today, hey, what's up, Kintar? Today we're going to be looking at more of the same, probably just working on the base a bit. Unfortunately, that cold that I mentioned yesterday, I think is catching up with me because I'm feeling a bit under the weather today. So that's where we're at. But that's okay. Life happens. So today, what I wanted to do, suck it up, Buttercup, yeah, pretty much, is, let's see. Let's see if I can get this backed up. Almost. Hey, Sectoid. Doing all right. How about yourself? Come on. Trying to get the merge blocks. Come on. It's like they want to, but they don't. Oh, come on. Why are we going to have this problem? Oh, they're just, well. Oh, I see. They are just a little bit off. Okay. Let's try and get this. I'm going to get this. So the problem is that I don't really have too much control over that. Well, I don't have too much control over it from here. Let's, well, let's see. Nope, wrong way. There it goes. All right, that'll work. Like I said, today is going to be a fairly low-key, low-energy day. All right, let's lift you. Those get pulled up. Awesome. Oh, yeah. Did need to also, well, let's just drive this in. Okay. Excavation rovers take a little bit of work. That's for certain. That's why I haven't, like, really been gung-ho to go doing it yet. Generally speaking, that's going to be your best bet starting out. Is start out fairly simple, go with something like a transport vehicle, and then make a flying mining vehicle to attach to it. Let's get this up here. Come on. There we are. All the batteries are good. All those are good. So what I want to do is oh, I see. That's the bottom of the. Oh man, yeah, I've got like 2 brain cells today. Saying I've got 2 brain cells and they're both fighting for third. I would actually recommend going for something a little bit bigger. I know where your head is at, but I would definitely go just a little bit bigger than that in terms of size. One of the good ways to do it is to basically pick a cargo container size and work with that. So I would recommend either, if you have all the DLC, the modular cargo container, which is what I use on Red Rover, or one of the large cargo containers, one of the small grid large cargo containers, which is that size. Yeah, so in that case, use one of the large buddies here. And that way you'll have enough storage capacity, but it'll also give you kind of a starting point for whatever you build off of it. All right, I need, there it is. Oh no. Solar. Yeah, small cargo containers are probably a bit smaller than you realize. They are tiny. They don't hold like anything at all. The small grid cargo containers really are best for, like, if you wanted to store a spare oxygen tank, or you just wanted to put some personal items in it, and that's it. If you were to go up from that, the medium cargo containers aren't terrible. But again, if you're looking to move any sort of weight, any sort of amount of stuff, the large cargo containers are going to be your best option for the modular ones. Dusty. Yeah, there we go. Sure, all of that is set. Awesome. Yeah. Well, at least for a rover. For rovers, you definitely want to do the medium or large. Now, if you're doing like a base and you're using large grid, then small is actually perfectly acceptable in a lot of cases, just because. So essentially, when you look at it, one large cargo container at small grid sizes has the same volume or carrying capacity as a small or as a large grid small cargo container. So I'll pull them out real quick. So this guy here, let me grab some interior plate. this guy stores as much as that guy. So that's the small grid one. That's the large grid one. Large container, small container. But they are of equal volume. So if, let's say, I have a rover with 2 of the large ones, then I want to make sure that I have at least 2 small containers on my base. And then it just goes up from there. Oh no. And I think it's interesting too that they don't have a medium large grid cargo container. Like, for whatever reason, they just decided, no, that's okay. Large grid doesn't need it. Let's keep welding up stuff. I would like to try and get just a good portion of the base done today. Kind of get us to a good point so that everything that we do in the future will be better off. Yeah, cobalt is... Okay, so one of the nice things is starting out, you don't need a ton of cobalt. So even if you only hand drill like 1,000 units or so, that's still going to be enough to get you started. And then everything after that is going to be just icing on the cake. All right, let's... The other thing is that cobalt takes a really long time to refine. So you don't want to grab a whole bunch of it. Because, again, that's time that you have to spend refining it, so... That is definitely a problem. Which is like, cobalt is one of those that you absolutely need in order to progress through the game, and yet sometimes it is the hardest one to find.
Inventory full.
Yep, I know. Let's try and get some more here. That is actually going to be good. Silver specifically. Once you get silver, the nice thing about that is that it allows you to, or at least makes it so that you can actually make survival kits and medical bays. Both of those being necessary to, you know, respawn. All right, construction components and steel tubes. Small steel tubes, of which I need more. And that's actually what I need to be on the lookout for today, is gold and silver. at some point later on. Ah, there we go. Yes. Those really, basically, you find that throughout most of what you're doing, small steel tubes are probably one of the things that you run out more frequently. But then, like, steel plates are one of those that sometimes you have too many, and sometimes you just don't have enough. And motors. I run out of motors all the damn time. And awesome. Other thing I'm going to have to do. Oh, I need some interior plate. And here we are. Awesome. Yep, no worries. I'll be here, hopefully. It'll be awkward if I wasn't. I know, right? Hey, Seek Jetty. Seek Jet. How are you doing today? And this is what I normally play. Because this is what brings all the boys to the yard. And there goes this. Excellent. All right. Let me... I was rewatching the clips from yesterday. And without context for what's going on, they are a little bit odd. But at the same time, it was just a reminder of how silly yesterday became. It was great. Especially the one where I exploded myself. But it also got me to thinking about hopefully what the future of Space Engineers 2 is going to be like. Because I really, really really hope that it winds up having the same likelihood of hilarious disasters. There we go. Because that's one of those things that Space Engineers 1 does incredibly well. It's just the random bullshit that'll happen while you're playing. And especially with some of the mods that are out there, it really does add additional flavor to everything. There we go. Oh. Yeah, we're starting to get our building together. This is actually almost starting to look correct. As far as WoW, I've been playing it off and on. I was playing it off and on over the weekend. The problem is that I didn't get my sweet, sweet Twitch money this month. So I'm still using the trial. And unfortunately, being capped at level 20, while there is a lot to do, does not necessarily incentivize one to continue playing. But I've been playing my Invoker. Invoker? No. I don't remember. Oh, shoot. Almost out of power. Up to a point. There's a lot that I could be doing. But then the other problem is that I wind up also being capped on how much money I can have. There are certain aspects where I can't go beyond a certain point. So, like, my Invoker is, obviously capped at level 20. I'm doing the Warlords of Draenor stuff with her. And I got her Garrison. But there's a lot of the Garrison stuff that I can't do because it requires over level 20. And it's like, okay, cool. And just in general, it's one of those that my appetite is already whet. And the more I play it, the worse it gets. And I'm like, well, now I just have to wait. Oh, great, Dust Storm. So at this point, it's just waiting until I can get it. That's all. Play a little bit here and there, set myself up for it. Oh no, my appetite is well beyond moist. I wants it. I wants it so bad. Why were you interior plates? I don't know. No. Well, that's okay, because also during the weekend, I was playing some more Path of Exile 2 on my Mercenary. Having a grand old time. Actually being able to get stuff accomplished. One of the problems is my Sorceress, while she does considerable damage, or at least does a decent amount of damage, is just very, very squishy. And everything will one-shot her for no reason. Which apparently GGG is helping to fix with their upcoming patch. So, yay. Alright, this is where it's going to get fun, because I've got to do all of this glass work up here. Darn it. But another interesting happened to me last night, and it was the weirdest thing. And I don't know what was happening in terms of like what caused it or what the actual issue was. But for whatever reason, last night I lost the internet. But not like, oh, you don't have an internet connection. I had an internet connection. My ISP was telling me that I had an internet connection. I logged into my modem, and my modem said I had an internet connection. Everything was telling me that I had internet, but I had no internet. In fact, Rockstar would probably understand this better than I do. But I was doing, I was pinging Google through the modem, and it could, for the most part, see that the Google.com existed, but it kept dropping packets like mad. Sometimes it would, out of 4 packets that it would send, 4 packets of data, it would go ping, 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 ping. Well, the problem was that sometimes it would only, get 1 reply out of the 4. Sometimes it wasn't getting any. And it was very hit or miss, which was really frustrating. So I was like, okay, well, let's do all of the steps that they always walk you through. Because, you know, as somebody who's been in IT for a fairly considerable amount of time, I went ahead and, you know, turned it off and back on again. That's what they always ask. Have you turned it off and back on again? Yes, I have done that. And that didn't solve the problem. And so I did some more poking and prodding. And eventually I just said, screw it. Because, like, I could, after a point, start getting stuff from the internet. Like, I could go to web pages, and the web page would start to load, and then just kind of sit there for a little while, sort of spinning its wheels, not quite sure what to do. And it would, like, YouTube was partially loading things. It was so weird. So this morning, when I woke up, I checked it. Everything was working just fine. But the only thing I can think of is that it may have been a situation where my web host, or, you know, my internet service provider, I was actually getting DDoSed. Or they were doing maintenance and just not telling anybody. They do that so frequently. There. Actually starting to look like a real building. Let's get some more of that going. Get this done up. Then, of course, you know, apparently it's been a slow year so far because gaming drama is just absolutely balls to the wall right now. So, you know, we have all heard that I will put the plates in here, but I won't weld it. So we've all heard that Elon Musk is a gamer. We've all heard that he likes to dabble in some Diablo 4. Apparently he holds a world record in that. But then in Path of Exile 2, some new information has come to light. He may not be legitimate. And then, apparently yesterday, his hardcore character finally died. And a bunch of people online rejoiced. And it is kind of strange when you look at his gameplay footage. It's like, this looks like somebody who's, honestly, this looks like somebody who's a Diablo 2 or Diablo 4 player. I legitimately think he played Diablo 4. But I think part of the problem is also that his mindset is stuck in Diablo 4. Because when you look at the footage and you look at what a lot of people have picked apart, he's playing the game like somebody who is used to the way that Diablo 4 works. The thing about Path of Exile 2, and this is something that I noticed, is that sometimes a higher level item is not a better item. It is just a higher level item. Compared to These are all just catwalks. Yeah. Compared to Diablo 2, where a higher level item is almost always going to be a stronger item. You guys. Oh, I can't place that on top, can I? Okay. What about... Don't necessarily want to place that there. But what I could do... You there. And then, speaking of WoW, there's a whole bunch of WoW Classic drama going on with a whole bunch of streamers. And it's interesting, too. Like, I'm starting to understand why some people are upset, although I'm not. I don't have any vested interest in it. I just find it funny. But apparently, a group from the OnlyFans streaming guild were running Dire Maul. And they're playing Classic Hardcore, which Classic by itself is already hardcore. I don't think people really realize how brutal Classic is compared to the way that WoW is today. It is almost like it's an entirely different game with how rough it actually is and how it needs to be played. But then you factor into that it's hardcore, so if your character dies, that's it. Your character is just flat out dead. And then you also bring into that streamer egos, because we have an ego. We have to. That's part of why we stream. You know, it's the ego thing. Hey, what's up, Tommy? And so now you've got a situation where you've got guys with egos attempting to play together, and somebody makes a mistake that is kind of costly, and all hell breaks loose. Oh, just the drama in World of Warcraft right now. Lots of people are upset with Pirate Software for, various reasons. Honestly, I think they just like being upset. But it was, they were running a dungeon, and he was part of the group. Somebody made a bad call. Somebody made a bad pull that resulted in a bad call that resulted in 2 of the 5 characters in that group getting killed on a hardcore server. That's basically what happened. Then afterwards, they all start arguing about it. Pirate Software goes, listen, it was the right call. You're wrong. I'm out. And left the Discord call. And so a lot of people are upset about that. And it's like, you guys just need to chill out. But it's good drama. It's good content. Exactly. It's just a game. But I think people have just been looking for a reason to not like Thor from Pirate Software. They just have been really looking for a way to tear him down. To be like, see, he's not perfect. He's not the best ever. So I think that's really what it just comes down to. All right, there we go. Now I just got to get some windows up in here. I need my 2x1s. Girders? I have no girders. I also have no iron. Well, at the end of the day, and the reason why a lot of people are hopping onto the drama train, I think really just comes down to the fact that that that's their shtick. They love the drama. Honestly, humans in general love drama. We don't always admit it, but we do secretly love it. We love it when there's something juicy and gossipy to talk about. It's part of the communal ape brain. Get all that sweet, sweet iron out of this. And oh, nice. Hopefully that works out. That's all right. That's half the fun, or so they tell me. That was always one thing when I would do, whenever I do a little bit of programming, is looking to see how it all works out, if it all works out. Okay, don't need all of that right now. We should be good. Yeah, we're fine there. Girders. Awesome. Here's hoping it remains that way. And then put a couple windows up here. Window. Like, honestly, kind of want to put you, not so much. There we go. Yeah, I can put windows here like that. What you might want to do is, and what you could probably do just to test it, is add timer blocks to each location where you have laser antennas set up, so that at a certain point, or you can even trigger it with, there you go. Because of the fact that you're using laser antennas, you're connected to those grids. So what you do is you set up action relays on separate channels, that the action relay triggers a timer block at that location, that the first thing it does is it turns off the antenna and then also starts the timer block. And the timer block runs for a short period of time, like let's say 30 to 45 seconds. And then will automatically turn the antenna back on at that location. So that way you can test a disconnect and reconnect. Because 35 to 40 seconds should be long enough that the antenna that you're at will attempt to reconnect somewhere else. So that could be a way that you can test it. Hopefully. That there. Okay. Now I need a bunch of you. Okay, gotcha. That works too. I was just thinking of a test platform that you can do just to make sure that your scripting works. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to like that. Okay, cool. Ooh, I also need more steel plate. Let's get this finished up. Out of the way, ladder. Awesome. Oh no. And then, yeah. Nope. Power's getting low. Doot, doot, doot. So I'm getting to a point where the only thing that I have left to really weld up is going to be the glass and then, you know, random bits and bobs. Okay. That's true. You don't want things randomly disconnecting. It is really frustrating when things do randomly disconnect. As I mentioned earlier with my internet problems. Let's grab some more of this. Get this all done up. Open the door. Hey, Hollows. And not today. Today, very definitely not opening the door. There we go. And let's get these things. Oh, mostly because I'm actually coming down with something. So I'm just not quite having the energy to deal with it. There, we'll replace that one. And then I just need a glass door to go there, and that would be perfect. I'm sure it does. I, again, just don't feel like dealing with the cats right now. I just don't have the wherewithal because they're not going to sit still. They never do. What's going to happen is I'm going to open the door. Smudge is going to come in. She's going to come up here under the table next to me. And then she's going to paw at my arm for the next 5 minutes until I finally pick her up and put her in my lap. And I'm going to pet her. And then she's going to stop getting pet and she's immediately going to jump off. She's going to turn around. She's going to start pawing at my arm for 5 minutes. And it's going to be rinse and repeat until I get annoyed. And I just don't feel like dealing with that right now. That's really what it comes down to. I just don't have the wherewithal for it. More girders. Got it. So what winds up happening is no cats. And actually, funny story, I did open the door yesterday. But as expected, you weren't around. I need more bulletproof glass. And more bulletproof glass. And I did do it. I let the cats in. So if you weren't around to witness it, that's not my fault. Sounds like maybe you need a better sleep schedule. Okay. Get this done up. Just get the girders in there. Oh, no. Nope, not how that one works. You don't get to blame me for your failings. Not today. Damn. I don't... Just give me the glass. What am I? Oh, yeah. I'm not the one that fell asleep for a change. All right. That is actually looking pretty spiffy. And the nice thing is that with the glassed-in ceiling like this, once I get it finished, that still should allow some sunlight to come through if I have this parked in here and charge the solar panels. So there is that. All right. Refill the old hydrogen bottles real quick. Awesome. Use up as many of these girders as I can on these windows here. Awesome. And we'll just start going window by window. That's the only problem, is that I only have but so much room in my inventory for stuff. So I was playing what is that? Return to Moria last night. And my first playthrough was kind of meh. And I got attacked by a bunch of goblins or something other than that and killed. So I went ahead and I started another save, but with the same character, and that was a mistake. I soon realized. I need to change those, damn it. That's okay. I'll change them later. But that was a mistake, and I learned why. Is because of the fact. Oh, I won't be able to change that though, unless I move them over one. But then that messes. Oh, damn it. That's all right. But I made the mistake of using the same character, but after I died because I hadn't picked up my body. Now the reason why is because you start out and they give you a scouts pack for, like a backpack for extra inventory. But because I had died, I had dropped the backpack. So on the new playthrough, I'm trying to figure out why I have no backpack. What happened to it? Fortunately, I figured it out. I was like, oh yeah, this is like Valheim. So I fixed the problem, got myself another backpack, and was like, cool. There we go. Outside is all done up. Let's also cover these up. Where? Oh, that's what that thing was looking at. I was like, where is that extra light coming from? Oh, that's right. But starting to kind of get into Return to Moria. I'm still very early in the game. But it definitely has that feeling of, yep, this is another Unreal game. They all kind of look and feel the same. I mentioned this earlier, like I had talked about it at some length, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. Well, and I believe 7 Days to Die came out after this, if I remember correctly. Let's find out. So 7 Days to Die, not 23. Initial release is 2013. And oh, okay. So 7 Days to Die actually released 2 months after the initial launch of Space Engineers, but they both released in 2013. That's actually pretty cool to know. Give me more. But that was a time period, oddly enough, when a lot of games were doing this sort of build style. Because if I remember, wow, calm down. Let's see. Experian, Empyrean. What is it? Galactic Survival. Yep. And then yeah, so 2 years after Space Engineers, Empyrean Galactic Survival, which is very similar as well, came out. So it was one of those that it was just a really busy sort of, I'd say, 5-year period where you had a lot of these sandboxy builder sort of games coming out. Empyrean, it's not quite as good as this. Like, there are aspects of it that I like, because of the fact that instead of having set blocks like this has, you would have block types like concrete and steel, wood, but then it had a right click function that would allow you to choose different shapes. The problem was more so in the controls for it, for building, are just really obtuse and kind of hard to wrap your head around sometimes. That's one of the things that I like about Space Engineers, is that it really does just feel better. There we go. Thought I had plenty more, but now I get to start doing the glass. There we go. Then once we get the glass finished up, I'll come back through and do the vents. I think I need more glass. A lot more glass. Yeah, that's what I thought. I should probably also go ahead and grab more silicon because I think I'm getting low on that. Oh no, never mind. I've got plenty. I didn't realize I had so much. All right. Back to work. I'm really excited though for Space Engineers 2, and I mentioned this previously. But it really does feel like it's an evolution of the build system that should help in the long term sort of help inspire an additional level of creativity that we really haven't seen. Like, Space Engineers 1 has some absolute amazing marvels of gameplay engineering. The ships, the bases, the mods, all of the stuff that people have come up with over the years, utilizing the basic armor shapes and the fairly rudimentary gameplay mechanics, the physics systems and whatnot, is absolutely astounding. And so I'm really, really stoked and looking forward to seeing what people are then able to funnel their creativity into with Space Engineers 2. If they're able to pull off these works of modern art in this game, then it's just going to go astronomical, no pun intended, with the next one, the sequel. My suit energy is low already? Didn't I just recharge that? I'll come back to you. And we'll do it over here. Doink. How we doing on power? Got a day left. Cool thing is that's a real-time day, not an in-game day. Oh, I think I got it. Awesome. Nailed it. It's there. I see it. It's a little closer than I would like, but that's kind of what all this is for, too. To make sure that if anything comes through, it blows all of this up first before it gets to me. Are you going away from me? I think so. Cool. And we're just about done. You. No. And so I was watching some YouTube yesterday, as most people do these days, and noticed that there is a new movie coming out that actually looks kind of interesting. That's got Dave Bautista and oh shoot, Mia Jovovich. But what's really interesting, and I think what has people kind of talking in a way, is that it is developed and or written by George R.R. Martin, who is, of course, of Game of Thrones fame. And a lot of people are rightfully upset because of the fact that he still hasn't finished the Ice and Fire books, the Game of Thrones books. It's been several years now. The show ended on a fairly sour note. You know, as far as a lot of people are concerned, there's like nothing after, what is it, like season 6, if that. Well, like there's nothing after season 5. And then it's also by the director of the Resident Evil series, which, in all fairness, the first Resident Evil movie, the one with Mia Jovovich, really actually wasn't that bad. It's on that border of being kind of goofy and silly, but also at the same time being a fun watch. Despite its flaws, it is still entertaining. And I think that is something important to remember, is that movies don't need to be masterpieces. They just need to be entertaining. The first one is actually kind of worth it, if only because of the fact that it set up some interesting tropes for zombie movies after the fact. Everything after that then just kind of sucks. Like it goes into some weird places. But the first Resident Evil was actually pretty good. Like it strangely enough feels like a high octane version of 28 Days Later in a strange sort of way. But it is, like I said, a fun movie to watch. I enjoyed it. Kintar obviously enjoyed it. And it was right at that point where Mia Jovovich, the ladder, I can use it. I mean, granted, with the jetpack, I tend to zoom around a whole lot. It's mostly for looks, just like the billboards for looks. I'm by myself out here. I don't need a freaking billboard. But with Resident Evil, it came out right at that point where Mia Jovovich's career was starting to take off. It was just after Fifth Element. So you also had let's see, was Ultraviolet came out around that point, which was, yeah, there you go, Leland Dallas Multipass. You had a lot of movies that were coming out that were just ultra spectacle, is really what it was. Hot chick, skimpy clothes, ultra spectacle. And they were, in a lot of cases, just fun, stupid movies. I think that's part of the problem, is that studios these days, and it's been mentioned previously, that studios these days invest too much money into movies. And so they're expecting every single movie to be the billion-dollar blockbuster. Instead of, here's like 2 or 3 really good high-budget movies, and then here's 20 low-budget movies that are just stupid and fun. There we go. You know, the kind of movie that's like, the CGI isn't necessarily the greatest. The actors are good, and they're you know, the kind of actors that you're used to hearing their names, but again, they're not the best. Yeah, well, okay, any sci-fi movie up to a point. There is a point where the Sci-Fi Channel just kind of like fell off, but that is a completely different thing. And let's, oh, I do need steel plates. Yeah, that's true.
They fixed mobile switch.
Awesome. And at the same time, damn it. All right. Let's see, what else do I need to weld up? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. She is welded. Oh, wait. Nope. Not yet. Almost. There's that one. And then, actually, no, I don't have. I have this one over here. Awesome. There we go. And that should be everything. That looks to be it. We are now pretty much all welded up. Everybody, oh. I gotta weld that up. I need the TV. Do what? What special thing? Waiting room LCD. Oh, gotcha. Text and images. charts. Then I want say every 5 seconds. Five seconds is a little fast. Let's do 20 seconds. There we go. So that way, while you're sitting here waiting, you've got the TV. Because there's always that TV that's in a waiting room that just shows really stupid stuff. You know what? I don't think I like any of you today. You guys are just so mean. I supply you with valuable entertainment. This is how you treat me. Yeah, there you go. Shut up, Kintar. Okay. Fair enough. Need. Let's see. Let's put a light there. And a light there. There we go. No, we already discussed this. I crashed it into your mom. Which is saying something because I'm driving on an alien planet and she's in Australia. Well, obviously you suck at it because she's been grumpy ever since. Intensity. It really is. That explains the higher than normal gravity. There we go. Get some extra lighting going in here. I can't help it that she's got the Grand Canyon for a hoo-ha. I don't think anybody would be able to satisfy that craving. It could be 100 meters, and it still wouldn't be enough for your mom. Her name's the Marianas because she has a trench. Signs. There we go. You are rotated an incorrect way. Nope. Whistling Gorge. Nice. Bread. Kintar has the same mom that I do. Not sure if you noticed this, but I think I've mentioned it before. Kintar is my brother. Like, real life brother. Same mom, different gorge. Oh man. Yep. And give me some more hydrogen. I need the good stuff. There we go. Okay. Had shelves. You did. Okay. I need girders? Girders. All right, yeah. And how are you missing? What is she, a poster? Making it sound like you have a special place on the wall where you like to hang her up and look at her. Oh, are you actually building it through the... No, you're not. Okay, good. It's about to be like, damn it. Not through the survival kit. Oh, I see. That is on a rack. Cool. Actually, I believe that one, Kintar. The building next to me. You mean in the other house, the neighbor? Doubt it. There we go. And then this one. This one's just going to have to remain unfinished because it's a lot of the expensive parts. Help me, Obi-Wan. You're our only hope. Okay. I would say that is looking pretty spiffy. I wish I could get the lights to be a little bit better. This is the paint. Well, I may go back over it, but this is generally going to be the paint job. Uh-huh. We're just going to let that one sit in auto mod territory for a little while, Bread. Let's see. And next up. Lightly bred, they have been. I think you've been trying to push the envelope as much as possible just to see where I'll actually snap. Oh, man. Joke's on you, though. I've been on the internet since I was 13. My limit is incredibly high. So, about 5 years? There we go. 2 3/4. Been on it for about 350. Oh no, I've already told people I'm 12. I have the brain capacity of a 12-year-old on a sugar rush. Need more. More, I tell you. What else am I missing? And construction components. Yep. I'll have you know, I actually drive like I'm 7.5. There we go. All right, I'll give you that much. Some days it's a little bit better. Okay, let's see. There we go. I'm getting one of these done. That's what today is really all about, is just trying to get as much of this stuff done as possible. The base looking right. There we are. You are indeed correct. Not that old. Although sometimes it feels like it. Man, it would be funny when I'd be playing Echo VR, or any time that I would be in a VR game. Because of course there's like, as Hollows is fond of calling them, semen demons everywhere. But a bunch of kids running around in the games. And they'd be playing, and then I'd finally say something on voice, and they'd be like, wait a minute, there's like an adult in here. What the hell's going on? And then I'd be like, yeah, I'm, in my 40s. And they're like, oh my God, how are you doing this? Oop, there we go. Yes, they did. And it's always funny. It happens. Actually, I never got reported for being too old. Most of the time, okay, so here's the funny thing. The ones who actually tended to give me the most trouble were usually the 20 somethings. Anybody over the age of like 18 to 19 tended to be more of a pain in the ass. Usually ages like, I don't know, 9 to about 16 were pretty cool. So yeah, there you go. Hey, what's up, Fluxen? Five, 6, 8. Yep. Next year, I'll be halfway to 50 in the 40 range. Yeah, see, I don't do that. I'm not really a destroyer. Because I really enjoy helping people find a reason to play the game, even if they're not doing well, even if they're having a bad day or a bad game or a bad session or whatever. I always try to find a way to help people enjoy playing the game because I genuinely want people to play it. More people playing means more people to continue playing the game. But if you go around constantly making people wanting to leave the game, you eventually run out of people to actually play with. And then you have nobody to beat. Oh, welcome back, Sectoid. Something like that. I'm starting to get the feeling that that's actually kind of your modus operandi, Sectoid. Yeah, there we go. Five, 6, 7, 8. Cool. Oh, that sucks. No. No, you are generally not. That is very true, Sectoid. Yeah. I think that's something that we can all attest that oh, that's good. This is true. I should never be the driver. Always let me be a passenger so I can be lazy. God, yes. We've all done that too. As evidenced by yesterday and the numerous times that I flipped the rover. Whoops. Apparently you shouldn't let me walk either. Well, sometimes. You gotta watch out for that. You look away, and then the next thing you know, you're upside down going, how did I go so wrong? Sorry, Tommy, but I only understood about half of that. I know all of the words, but when you put them together like that, I really don't know what you're after. It is funny to me that people say, "Oh, you know C sharp," but I think even if you know C sharp, they're Liberty that have learned not just one Liberty, because I think there's a translation problem happening.
Chat is just becoming Epitron 9000.
That's what chat is. Like, that's legitimately what chat is supposed to be. Like, if chat ain't yapping, then chat is not chat anymore. It is just listen. And then you have to listen to me yapping the entire time. You poor bastards. Okay, I think I understand what you're talking about, but let's see. If I had GTA installed right now, I would actually still probably suck at driving. Actually, no, that's not true. I've spent enough time driving in GTA 5 that I'm actually okay at it. That's, in all fairness, though, Sectoid, you have only been playing the game now for like, what, a week and a half? Tops? So you still have about another 2,000 hours to learn some stuff. So you've got time. All right. So there we go. Everything so far is welded up. All of the solar towers are welded up. The junkyard base is welded up. Looking pretty spiffy. Hey, Roxy, how you doing? Blowing up should always look good. That's kind of the entire point of blowing up. Thank you. It's taken a little bit longer to get to this point than I would have liked. Oh yeah, that's fine. But here we are. Don't like that. I need to change these. Too much is exposed. What if go with, yeah, we'll go with these instead. That's not going to help. There we go. Gotcha. Okay. Yes, that makes a lot more sense. And yes, you are correct. Knowing C sharp can help you learn how to program in each, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a one-to-one translation. Yeah, that changing your base so that you can properly fit things in, I have had to do one too many times over the years. This is actually the color it's going to be. It's specifically this color because it's dusty and it's kind of a ugly grayish tan color. So that's what I wanted to go with. That's why it looks like this. kind of stands out from the desert, but it also kind of doesn't. Yes, you can do scripting in the game, which uses a version of C#. Okay, you are going off in that direction. All right, let's see if we can not flip over today. And it looks like it is. Okay, good. That's true. I was trying to look up how to do scripting a while back because Fant and I were trying to work on a self-balancing motorcycle, and I had troubles penetrating the documentation for this game. It is definitely written in such a way that makes it a little bit more difficult to understand. Yeah, should probably turn on that. Well, hey, Sectoid, it's good to have skills that you didn't know existed prior to playing the game. So really, if anything, being able to turn a ground vehicle into a spaceship is something that you should celebrate. And that is fair, Tommy. When you do have, I won't call it a disability. We'll simply call it a condition. There you go. When you have a condition like that, it definitely does make things a little more difficult. Not impossible, just difficult. There you go. It took hundreds of geniuses, Russian and German engineers, and some of the bravest men in all of history for NASA to finally get into space. It took you 25 minutes, 5 blocks, and a drill. See, that's why the Scottish always make the best engineers. They're very good at sending everything into orbit. Now, let's see if we can find some gold today. I think, and okay. So this, I want to look at something real quick and I want to show off. The reason why I believe that I'm having flipping issues. All right, Brad, have a good one, buddy. But the reason why I think I'm having flipping issues with the trailer is because this bottom portion here is so low. So what's happening is that as I'm cresting hills, it's catching on these wheels and throwing the balance of the entire trailer off as it then comes over that ridge. I could conceivably try and move this attachment up to here so that it has a higher center of moment, I believe is what you would call it, for where it attaches, and could increase the clearance for down here, making it easier for it to go over hills. Sounds like a good idea. Although I haven't had coffee in a while. I also haven't had a Red Bull in a while. Strangely enough, lately I've been cutting out a lot of sugar and a lot of caffeine. And I've been feeling a little bit better for it. But that's, that's just me personally. I'm not sitting here saying, you should stop drinking caffeine and sugar. No, it's just me personally. It's been my personal change to my diet. And it has felt pretty good. I've enjoyed it. I will say, I miss being younger and being able to like chug energy drinks and smoke a pack of cigarettes in an hour kind of thing. You know, back when we were young and stupid, I miss being able to do that. Now it's watch your weight, watch what you eat, watch your cholesterol. Oh, you've got too much sugar. You're now going to go into a diabetic coma. Great, thanks. I am not seeing anything out here. Gold and silver are being incredibly elusive. Silicon. I think I've seen this one before. I'm pretty sure I have. And there's just nothing out here. More iron. And oh, there goes your cobalt sectoid. Found some for you. It's on an entirely different planet, but I'm sure one of your rovers will show up to collect it soon. Let's see. Excuse me. Good Lord. Yep. Plenty of iron. Like, just freaking iron everywhere. Hey, silver. I saw that. Okay, we got some silver here. We are... Can't see anything through all this. Now I can't see home. So we're looking at about, looks like 4 kilometers. If I had to guess. So, silver 4K. Aha, silver, cotton 4K. Oh God, the number of times that I personally either had that happen or heard of that happening going, I was working on this, but then I just suddenly had this idea for something else entirely. Like that happened to my dad so many times. He'd be working on one thing, and then just all of a sudden he'd be like, oh, I could totally do this other thing. And then before he realized it, he was like neck deep in some other program that was completely unrelated to what he was working on initially. Oh, gotcha. So I think this tunnel might be a little steep, but And we just make a little turn. And start making our way to silver. And again, right now, I'm not going to need a whole bunch of this. I wouldn't mind finding another bit of wreckage, though. That was really good salvage in that respect. That set us up for quite a while. Plus, it got us our tools. Let's see anything down here. I mean, obviously there's stuff down here, but where's it at? That's true. Oh my god, I remember that time we had that one save file that we were working on in the mountains. And the number of times I heard oops and then explosions. That was just, it's like, I built that, I used that, I did multiple missions, no problems. You get 5 minutes into it and all of a sudden I have to repair it now. How do you do it? Oh, but that is also kind of the fun of playing with friends, is the wild random BS that happens when a friend is like, oh, by the way, no, stone does not give cobalt, unfortunately. However, there are boulders that you can come across that have random resources in them. Those boulders may potentially have cobalt in them. But stone itself, as a resource, does not refine down into cobalt. It only refines down into iron, nickel, and silicon. It's not so much. Well, okay, it is mostly the danger to the world. That's, I think, the most viable threat in all of history. If you recycle tier 1 weapons, not tier 0, which is what you start out with, but tier 1 weapons, you can sometimes get cobalt from that. Or if you recycle metal frames, you'll get cobalt from them. Gotcha, Tommy. How much silver did I just pull? Oh, God, barely any. I mean, that'll kind of do it, but let's see. The music is... Now it's like the audio is really quiet. There we go. Let's get some more. Really, the only thing that I need the silver for at the moment is just to get enough for the medical room. Or to be able to make another survival kit. That's basically it. Gotcha. I don't know either, unfortunately. And at the moment, I don't have a way of asking the person that usually makes my scripts for me, or at least had been making my scripts for me. So I unfortunately cannot get you that answer. Have you tried asking on, or are you on the Space Engineers Discord? Because If you are, you may want to check there. I think they have a scripting channel. Let me double check. Um, yeah, they do have a specific channel for scripting. It's called Programmable Block. That they could probably help you out if you have questions there. All right, let's keep going. Got the silver. Some gold would be nice, though. Hey, I think that's the same cobalt from earlier. Yeah, that looks like it. But I want to head towards the regional headquarters. Just to see what else I might be able to find. If I can find anything. Hey, more silicon. Cool. Yeah, there's this big ravine in the way. If it was just Red Rover, it wouldn't be so bad. I could actually go down and back up pretty easily. But because of the fact that I do have the trailer on the back, yeah, no problem. Yeah, just about everybody has a Discord these days. More iron. Oh, goody. That is a nice natural ramp to get down here. We got over here. More iron. Enough iron that I could build the entire planet 2 times over. I'm getting hungry already. Man, last night was pretty good. We had some leftover chili that we had frozen for like the past week or so. So we just thawed that out and had that, plus some biscuits for dinner. And it was so good. Added a bunch of cheese and some mayonnaise to mine. My mom had her usual sour cream. But all in all, it was absolutely delicious. But I was joking. I had jokingly mentioned to my mom, I was like, you know what would be great in this? She's like, what? And I was like, sliced up hot dogs. It'd be so good. That's one of the things that my sister and I do. I remember doing it one time. It was one of those, we've got chili, we've got hot dogs. I like chili dogs. God bless it, excuse me. I like chili dogs, but we didn't have any buns at the time. Oh, gotta be careful with that. So what I wound up doing was, instead of more silver, more silicon, do we have any gold? I wound up taking the hot dogs and I cut them up into little pieces, sliced them up, and then just put them in the chili. It was Hormel chili, like the canned stuff, and had it that way. And my sister eventually had some, and she's like, wow, that is really, really good. I'm like, yep. So it just kind of stuck as one of those things that every once in a while, when they go grocery shopping, she'll get like some hot dogs and then a can of Hormel chili. And we'll make that up, and it's just so good. Okay, not really finding anything out here. Oh, hey, thank you for the resubscription there, Charfon. Much appreciated. By the way, how you doing, buddy? You staying out of trouble? else is out here. Then I'll start heading back. Cobalt. Yeah, I should probably put something up that's like a trying to hit this goal sort of thing. I had a bits goal up for a little while. Trying to save up, get enough money so that I can get a new video card. I want to get one of the... Oh, gotcha. Yeah, fair enough, Charfon. That quality loop. That is a nasty thing, because once it gets its hooks on you, you just got to keep going. You got to get more quality. You got to perfect it. So I totally get it. But as far as... God, here I am just finding nothing but cobalt. Poor sectoid. I have all of your cobalt. But as far as the video card, I'm looking for, or wanting to try out, and I want to get the, what is it? The Intel Arc B580? Because I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. I know, right? I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. Plus, it is on the more affordable side. Like if I had the money, like it was one of those things where I just boom had the money, I that would be nice. I would actually not mind going up to a 4060 or a 4070. I mean, obviously, if somebody just walked up to me one day and said, "Here, have a free 5090," I'd be like, "Okay, where's the power supply to go with it?" More magnesium. Ooh. I like the look of this area. I know, right? Like, hold on, let me get my knee pads. This is a nice looking area. Big, mostly flat. Looks kind of like a salt flat of some sort. I know. I didn't finish it, per se. Like, I got to where I wanted on... Novus. So that part was fine. But the reason why I went ahead and I jumped back into Space Engineers is because with Space Engineers 2 coming out in... What is that? 13 days? Yeah. So just a little under 2 weeks. I figured it would be a good idea to go ahead and get back into Space Engineers. And I'm not going to lie, it was also a streamer decision. Because Factorio, I was getting maybe like 3 to 4 people watching. Now I'm usually hitting like between 8 and 14 people watching. So it's one of those, the audience is going to be a little bit bigger for Space Engineers right now. And sometimes, and while I have mentioned I do this for the love of gaming, I do also have to make business decisions sometimes too. So it's one of those that it just made more sense in this regard to go ahead and jump back to Space Engineers for a little while. But that doesn't mean I won't go back to it. I still love Factorio. It's still one of those really good games, but... Okay, man. Hopefully you get an answer. And this is... I like this area. You know what this area would be really good for? Is a spaceport. I might just have to do that. This is just long and flat, mostly flat. I mean, obviously there's some curvature to it. Let's see, it looks like it ends right about here. Mostly just trying to see if I can find some gold. That's the one thing I seem to be having troubles with finding is gold. So it might be one of those that it's just get it when I get up to space kind of thing. Jesus. I think that's the medicine kicking my ass. Like I mentioned at the start of the stream, I am a little bit under the weather today, so that's why it's a little bit more of a low-key and chill kind of stream today. Not looking to get into a bunch of battles and whatnot, just kind of hanging out, shooting the shit, driving around, welding up stuff, you know. More or less just get stuff done, really. But I think what I want to do is when I get back to the head of this valley, I want to go ahead and mark it out so that way I can come back here, do some building, because this area is it's cool. I can do some stuff out here. I easily do some stuff. Ah, eyeballs. Okay. That flat valley, because it basically is. That way I know where it is when I come back to it. It was funny yesterday after we had done a whole bunch of stuff in Space Engineers. At the end of the stream, I went ahead and I swapped over to some Forza Horizon 5. And almost immediately, everybody noped out. I was like, that's fair. That's one of those. That is a huge shift in gameplay going from Space Engineers to FH5. So that one I understand. But it was also kind of fun to play for a while on stream just because it is one of those games that, well, while I am not super good at, I do attempt to enjoy and get better at. There we go. That's not so bad at all. I think there is a pretty easy way up. Yeah, this way. Should be pretty good. I could also at some point just make a ramp. This should be fine. Yep, medicine's starting to kick in, which is fine. There we go. And we're back. And we have some silver. So I think what I'll do is I'll roll up here and drop off this. Okay. We drop the legs. And we're all set. Awesome. And I just have to make sure that we get this sort of centered up. I don't know. Did I put a camera on the back of this or not? I don't remember. I think I might go grab some caffeine, actually. And there we go. Actually, will it refill my hydrogen? I don't think it will. Nope. That's fine. Let's see. I do have some steel plates, though, in here. Nope. Nope. In here. Okay. Cool. There we are. Just let this sit here and recharge for a little bit. Okay, I'm going to take a quick AFK. Grab myself probably a Dr. Pepper. Sorry, sister. I'm stealing one of your Dr. Peppers. I usually have one for dinner, but sometimes you just need something. So I will be back in just a few. And of course, really, there it goes. See if we can find a nice balance. There we go. Okay, I will be back in just a few. Alrighty. And we are back. That was good. Made myself a quick peanut butter and honey sandwich while I was at it. Go over there. Thank you very much. Alrighty. So, now that I have some silver on hand, which we are currently going through, and tiny amount of gold. What do I need for a reactor? Small reactor is reactor components. Let's see, 3 reactor comp. I was right there. I could have still looked at it. Reactor component is okay. So I could do a small reactor on a ship, even though I don't currently have any uranium. The reason why that matters is because I could, at the very least, put a reactor on a ship that I send into space, with the hope of finding some some uranium at some point. It would still probably be solar powered primarily at the start, just so that way once it gets up into space, I find the uranium. Hopefully by that point I can also start with some sort of starbase, some sort of station that will have refinery facilities on it, and then I can go ahead and look at making refining down some uranium. But I'm also looking at, could I? Short answer, yes. But I could make some sort of doors for this. Like I said, short answer, yes, I can make them. Long answer, it would be interesting, but also unnecessary. I think, though, what I needs to do, and I think what'll be kind of our next long-term project, is I will most likely need to make some sort of building, some sort of storage building to contain our vehicles, especially as the fleet grows. The other thing I should possibly do is I could set up a drill down here to start drilling for iron. Since I would conceivably need quite a bit of it. Okay, I think part of the problem that I'm suffering is that I've got, so kind of directly right behind me. I know you guys can't really see it. Maybe? No, you can't. It's just off screen. But right behind me is the air vent. And the problem is that it's blowing straight across my room. And then that air bounces off of the opposite wall directly into my face. It is drying my eyes out. I think that's also why I'm feeling a little bit sleepy.
Inventory full.
Yep. Might have to just go ahead and moisturize my eyes. Moisturize me. Moisturize me. Which, kind of coming back to what we were talking about with bad movies and whatnot, and Game of Thrones and such. One of the other fandoms that has made me happy lately is the Doctor Who fandom. And specifically, it's been making me happy because of the fact that most of the Doctor Who fandom has rejected pretty much all of Doctor Who after Peter Capaldi. And a lot of it just stems from the fact that the episodes were poorly written. The story went in weird places that even for Doctor Who made no sense. And it just generally felt like it was bad fan fiction. Like, if it hadn't been produced for the BBC, I very easily could have seen it going 50 Shades of Grey. Or like 50 Shades of Sonic Screwdriver. That sort of thing. And that's, I think, part of the problem with the direction that they took it in. And it's the direction that a lot of shows have gone. Is that they've wanted to make it more gritty. They've wanted to make it more realistic. And they've wanted to tackle real issues. And for Doctor Who, it's like, but why? What's the point? Like, Doctor Who was supposed to be an educational show. Originally, that was the purpose of it. But it just wound up with A, really compelling actors, and B, really good writers. Who were then able to infuse it with more than just, this is an educational show.
Inventory full.
And then, of course, when it got rebooted all those years ago with Christopher Eccleston, they did a really good job of bringing it up to a more modern standard, but without losing sort of the cheekiness that Doctor Who had. Some of the fun quirkiness of an almost all-knowing alien kind of running around just having adventures.
Inventory full.
And that was something that after Peter Capaldi with God, what is her name? I can see her face. But that particular doctor, they kind of missed out on, or they went too far in their extremes. First, they made her apathetic, and that was a problem. They made her apathetic to her companions. But then on top of that, she got a little bit too judgy on, which, for a Doctor Who series, that's kind of weird.
Inventory full.
But it felt off. And then after her, they bring back David Tennant, which was a Hail Mary to try and reclaim a lot of people. And it kind of worked at first. Everybody's like, oh, cool, David Tennant's back for a little bit. I guess we'll watch it. We like him as an actor. But it was a terrible special. Nobody stuck around, or hardly anybody stuck around. The story was abysmal, and then the ending was even worse with the whole bi-generation. Like, what? That is the dumbest thing ever. But hey, Whatever. Okay. I need more stairs down here. And I need... I think it's girders. Also need... Of course, I also remember when David Tennant was leaving as the 10th Doctor, and Matt Smith was stepping in as the 11th. And there were a lot of people who felt that he didn't quite fit as the Doctor. And that was fair, because he was so young compared to the actors that we had had previously in that particular role. So I can understand how a lot of people were sort of wary of where he was coming from. There it is. Let's try and get this there, there, and then there. Oh, we're good. Well, and it might be one of those questions that takes a little bit of research first. Um, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so it is one of those. Yeah, I was just looking. I just pulled up in Discord to look at it real quick. The beauty of having multiple monitors. All right. There we go. Easy to get up there. I think another way to word the question to kind of better understand or to help others understand what you're looking for is how to check the connected property of a laser antenna to see if it's connected to anything, to see if it's connected to another antenna. Or if there's a way to even check it programmatically. There should be, as obviously they need that information at some point. The game has to know, hey, I'm connected. But via script? Good question. Now, another possibility is to use an event controller, because I think event controllers can check that. Let's throw one together real quick. Awesome. We'll just put it here. And then grid speed, landing gear. Altitude. Lock switched on off. It does not look like there is one. Interesting. Figured there would. Oh well. There we go. You know what? I think today is actually going to be kind of a shorter one. Like, apparently really short. Yeah, because I think I'm gonna get some rest. And it'll also give me a little bit of time to kind of figure out what we're gonna do next and how to achieve that. So I think what I would like to do tomorrow, there's two different projects that we can get started on tomorrow. And it's going to be an either or. I'm not going to do both. I'm not going to start both, hopefully. So I could either go, well, I probably could. I think the first project we're going to work on is going to be some sort of storage facility for our rovers so that I can hook them up and keep them charged. Because obviously that's going to require a thing. All right, thank you for the follow there, James35. Much appreciated. So that'll be the first big project. There is some sort of location, some sort of building. And I'll probably follow a similar style to this with arched doorways and whatnot, glass ceiling, and then connectors for each of the things. Or give them like individual sort of compartments that each one will be in. The next project after that will most likely be the start of our rocket assembly facility, as I want that to be a proper facility that puts rocket parts together, almost Kerbal Space Program style, where it utilizes a combination of, because I want to do a multi-stage rocket is what I want to do, Space Engineers. I know it's silly, but I want to do it anyway. So that's what I'm kind of thinking of. But I need a facility that is able to print the parts and then attach them together to form the full rocket. And then some sort of vehicle at the top that we can fly into space and then do some exploration and eventually either send it back or be able to utilize it as the start of a base. So, you know, like survival kit, maybe some ion thrusters if I can. I doubt it. I'll probably need to use hydrogen, which then is going to require me to drill a whole bunch. So, but we have some options. We have some projects that we can get going and work on until Space Engineers 2 comes out. So that's what we're looking at. Other than that, though, like I said, today is going to be a short day, and hopefully tomorrow we will be back in full swing to get a lot more work done and really get some cool projects going. So that is, however, going to be it for today. As always, thank you all for joining me on these misadventures. So glad to have you guys along for the ride. You all have a wonderful day. Stay out of trouble. And remember, if you get caught, I don't know you. I will catch you guys tomorrow.